No, you're thinking white dragon. Blue dragons are electricity. Yeah, lightning. Hello, dungeon friends. I'm the Lich, and this is the Liching Hour. And before you do whatever it is you do when you get here, in dungeon news. I've got good dungeon news and I've got bad dungeon news. Which do you want first? Alright, we'll start with the good. Barry the Blink Dog has indeed returned to the dungeon. Yes! Who's a good boy? Be on the lookout for him, blinking around, stealing boots to chew on, all that good puppy stuff. Now the bad news. Y'all probably heard the commotion last night. That was the Mind Flayer ambassador thinking he could outcast me. He can't. The bad news is he failed so badly that he ended up a little bit on the crispy side, if you know what I mean. I love Fireball. Yeah, I know that doesn't sound like bad news, but it means that he was either really dumb or he was sent to kill me. Which means Mind Flayers are trying to take over the dungeon. So we are on alert. Which means be on the lookout for anything suspicious. If you see anyone that has an octopus for a mouth, call me. Stay vigilant, folks. Enjoy your stay. Viva la Dungeon.
Hello, Dungeon fans. It is Friday night. I'm Kevin from Level 9, and this is the Liching Hour. And tonight, we play, as usual, Dungeon Crawl Classics. And by we, I mean me. But you too, if you want to speak up. To catch you up really quick, we are on it's she. Naomi, our cleric, is on a personal quest given to her by a new deity, Justitia, goddess of law and mercy. Justice and mercy. She switched deities and actually switched alignments, realizing that she no longer wanted to be neutral. She believed fully in the glory of law, and in doing so, left her deity, found by chance a new one, was embraced by a new one, but given a geas to go forth many miles away from her friends, far away land, to a town to help. All she was told was that they needed help, and boy did they, because the moment she got there, then that very night the town was attacked by a horde of zombies. She made some new friends as she saved a few people in the inn she was in, and then went out into the town, fought her way through masses of zombies, found a bizarre ritual where this one more sentient zombie was sucking the life force out of villagers. They managed to kill that one. Supposedly, a green witch light flew out of the body and flew away to somewhere else. And then they went and tried to save all the rest of the townsfolk that were all trapped inside of a chapel. And they hacked away, killed a couple other crazy zombies, and then dawn broke, and the zombies shambled off, and the attack ended. And that is where we left her, and that is where we're starting now. Other than that, we can jump right into it. Oh, if you're not following or subscribing, versus whether or not you're on Twitch or on YouTube, you are sorely missing out, my friend. So give it a shot. Click that follow or that subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Let us do this now. Oh, by the way, okay. So what we're playing, for those of you who might have just tuned in, we're playing Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game system. But we are also, the current module tonight is an old D&D, I think it's a second edition adventure called Clerics Challenge. And it was a series of modules that were made for solo play. Solo with one character and a DM, not completely solo. It was made for you. You wanted to test one character, and they go off and do their own. There was a series of them. There was one for clerics and wizards and warriors. I had found this one, and I've kind of adapted it and tweaked it and stuff to my own end. But that's what we're running, and that's what we've been running for the last couple nights. Let's get to it. Let's do this. Let's party. I'm trying to keep my mind off the fact that the Lich might have started a war with Mind Flayers. I think we're gonna be okay. I trust him. I will say that. I do trust him. But I do worry. I'm in HR. We worry. That's what we do. It's dawn in Pommeville. There are still zombies shambling off. As the last one shambles off, and our crew sits there, Naomi heartbroken because she was not able to save Gregory, the innkeeper who came with them. He had died in that final battle, laying there broken, wishing she had enough power to raise him from the dead, but she can't. Vowing that if she one day can bring someone back from dead, she's going to learn how to do that. The people start funneling out of the chapel, hundreds of people that were trapped inside there coming out, and these are hardy folk that live out in the in a world that is dark, and you've got to be constantly surviving. So they immediately go to work throughout that morning, cleaning up the town, helping injured. It isn't long before Naomi is approached by the mayor of the town. Where is that? Nicole Thenanus, and a strapping young fellow who bears a family resemblance to her. Nicole's face is set in a hard frown, and you can see deep anger smoldering in her eyes. By my count, we lost 6 people last night, and dozens more were injured, she says quietly. We need to find out what caused this and put an end to it. You fought courageously on Pommeville's behalf last night. You didn't have to do that, and I think we're going to need your help to see us through this. It's not over. The young man beside her introduces himself. I'm Terrence Thenanus, Nicole's brother. I'd like to help you if I could. Naomi nods. We'll take all the help we can. I would be happy to help you. In fact, Justicia sent me to help you on her behalf. Nicole, her eyes widen. She goes, well, I'm not much of a godly sort, but you might want to talk to our local priest, Brother Montrell. He's around here somewhere, helping the injured. He might know something more. In fact, there's a few people you might want to talk to. Talk to him, and suddenly, you'll be here, Nicole, and everyone turns to see this beautiful, I'd say young, but she's more like almost 30s, beautiful woman come, and she holds herself very well, and Naomi right away notices. Naomi came from a noble birth. She notices right away kind of the nobility of the way this woman. She's obviously somebody in the ruling class in this town for whatever it has. But she and Miles, the dwarf military captain, they step back while this newcomer comes up and motions Nicole over and starts talking to her quietly. And Nicole's talking to her, and then Naomi sees Nicole point to her and point in their direction. And the lady looks up and looks at them and continues talking, and finally they stop. She comes over. She approaches them. And at first she looks at Miles and she says, so are you the one that... She says, she looks Naomi up and down, and she looks at the dwarf, And she first looks at the dwarf, she said, Miles, and says, "Are you the one that Justicia sent us?" And he goes, "I no, 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 no. We dwarves, we're not that sorts of people. But my friend here, this is Naomi of just Naomi is fine. I'm the one you're looking for." And the lady looks at her, and they have this moment where they're staring at each other. Naomi, we've never really talked about Naomi. She's attractive, but she's attractive by the way that she holds herself. She's wearing chainmail. She's covered in gore. But she's a pretty woman, but more in a regal way. Whereas the woman she's looking at is a very beautiful raven-haired woman, and they're looking at each other, and it's almost like the other one's a little taken back, or there's something unreadable in her eyes, and it's something that gave her pause. Was whatever's running through her head. But soon enough, she finds her tongue because she's noble. She goes, let me introduce myself. My name is Serene. I am the daughter of the local lord here, Tobias. I forget his name. She doesn't forget his name. I forget his name. Avernon. I'm the daughter of the local baron here, or local lord here, Tobias Avernon. I wish to help in whatever way I can. It's obvious the town is in much trouble. Naomi nods, and she looks her up and down. And this time, Naomi takes a few minutes to look at her. She notices the woman's wearing robes. She notices some little satchels around her waist. And then they notice this little knight. He comes walking out from behind her. And we don't mean like halfling size. He's not like 3 foot tall. He's like 1 foot tall. Little knight, full plate armor. He goes ching, 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 ching. He walks out. He's got full plate on, he's got full plate. He's got a helmet down. And he comes out and he's got a sword, what looks like it could be a broadsword, across his back. And he just comes out and he stands, and Naomi's jaw drops. And so does Miles. He goes, "Well, who are you, you wee little fellow?" And Serene goes, sorry, this is Midas. He's my familiar." And Naomi looks at her and goes, "Oh, you practice?" And Serene goes, yes, my father sent me to Rastalon. Rastalon's a city. Naomi's never heard of it. I've never heard of it until just now. My father had me study in Rastalon, and well, I was managed to find myself a book, a grimoire, and I've been practicing. Yes, and I summoned. Yes, Midas is my familiar. I come quite prepared to help in magical ways. Good. Naomi nods. She's quite used to help in that manner, and is actually kind of elated. And that she goes, "Well, we're happy to have you aboard if you would join our little team." And Serene says, "Excellent. We should go talk to Brother Montrell to get more information. He might know more. I've studied the root." And as she's saying this, another voice breaks through. Actually, no. She says, "We should talk to Brother Montrell. I think I know where he might be. I passed him on my way over here to talk to you." So she takes Naomi and Miles, and they go over, and Naomi clunks along, but then she stumbles a little bit, and Serene goes, "Oh my, have you been up all night?" And Naomi nods, "Yes, we have been." And Miles says, "We could use a bit of rest, I think." So Serene goes, you know what? I'm going to talk to Brother Montel. You go back to the inn and you rest for a little while. We'll meet back up later this afternoon. I don't think, unfortunately, we should let this go tonight. We should get on this as soon as possible. Whatever is controlling these zombies is far beyond magic that I could control. And we're going to build up our defenses in the town, but we need to get on this. Do you agree? And Naomi agrees. Naomi and Maya's, we got to get on this now. Now. So Naomi and Miles go back to the inn, and Naomi takes off her armor and lays down, and they both nap and eat and then nap. Just kind of reset. We're going to reset her disapproval range. It's not a hard night's sleep, but she deserves it. Let's see. Get our health back up. Miles should be good. Terrence says he'll go with Serene, and he and Serene leave. Around 3 or 4 o'clock, Naomi comes down, and Serene's there. She comes walking in with Terrence, and there's a few people in the inn, and Serene says, "Well," she motions her over and has her sit down at a table and says, "Well, I've been talking to Brother Montrell. I've been gone for almost 2 years now. I've come back. My father's health isn't the best, and I needed to come home and visit. And I've been meaning to. Those ruins at the top of the hill have always been there, and I've been meaning to go investigate them. My father would never let me get up there, and I'd snuck up there many times in the past with friends, but we never explored it. And that's mainly why I came back. Brother Montel, he believes, as I do, that whatever's controlling the zombies, something's controlling the zombies. They didn't just wake up and come wandering around and then wander back at the daylight. Something's controlling them in the story you told us, because they had related the whole one zombie that was soul sucking villagers out, souls from villagers. There's some very very powerful magic going on here. I did some more digging, and apparently there was a little adventurer party that had come by recently, and gone into the keep at the top of the hill, but they didn't. They must have left, or they didn't come back. We're worried that something was disturbed. The history is that about 200 years ago, a very powerful evil temple was a very powerful evil temple, and it was destroyed by the king at the time. And the ruins have been harmless enough, but we don't usually get people who want to explore them. And these men came and they called themselves adventurers, and they went in there, and we fear for the worst. We can start there, or we can. A lot of the villagers are afraid of going to the graveyard because they're afraid that there's still zombies wandering around. So, or we could start there by burning bodies and checking and seeing where you saw this. The graveyard is where they saw this other undead, this like boss undead guy. Naomi thinks that they should go to the graveyard and get some work in, and then check it out. And she's not sure that this particular zombie, the Witchlight, she didn't see it flow up to the keep. She saw it flow deeper into the graveyard. So when she killed it, so she wants to start there. And they all agree. And just then, there a guy comes over, a younger guy, and he goes, "Hey, hello. So, are you the? Hello, Serene." Serene says, gives him that nod, like, I don't know who you are, but not in a haughty way, but just kind of like, well, yeah, she's a little cold. She didn't have time for this. And he goes, I'd love to I heard you going out, and to tell you the truth, I'm the best fighter in town. Naomi just stares at him. Miles chuckles. Terrence says, "Are you now, Lars?" Uh, you are definitely better than most of the youngins you're fighting around town. Lars goes, Terrence, I have half a mind to take you out and give you a good thrashing. No, really, I'm the best fighter in town, and I think the town would appreciate it if I came along. Uh, Naomi, Naomi looks around. This isn't her town, and Serene's been gone, and everybody could use the help. And Terrence, Terrence just shrugs. Naomi says, "More the merrier." "What's wrong with your voice there? You want to speak up?" Naomi just stares at him, and he just suddenly gets a little uncomfortable. "All right. Well, when we leave, I'll be right here." So Naomi gears up. Everybody gears up, and they leave and head to the graveyard outside of town. They get to the graveyard. There's bodies there. There's like zombies that didn't make it. There's dead zombies, as dead as they could be, and then there's people who didn't make it. Unfortunately, a few actual dead villagers. So they kind of pile them all up and set fire to them, and they're looking around. And the whole party now is Naomi, Captain Miles, the dwarf. I have him as a warrior. He's not a warrior. He's a dwarf. Shanna, who is a traitor, a thief. Serene, now she's a wizard, and Terrence, who's a warrior, and then Lars, who's a smith's apprentice. He's 0 level. The rest of everybody are Miles and Naomi are level 2. Everybody else is level 1, and then Lars is a level 0 peasant. So they spend a little bit of time looking through the crypts and stuff just to see if there's any clues, thinking, okay, if we don't see anything here, we're heading up the hill and going to the fort, or the ruins of the ancient temple or whatever. Everything seems consistent with the idea that that zombies burst out of there. Like most of the mausoleums, all the mausoleums and coffins are splintered, doors are open, busted open. These zombies came out of everywhere, and they're just about to leave when they notice that one of them is shut. Isn't just like the others. It's unlike the others. It's the doors are shut, and they search around it, and sure enough, Terrence notices this. By the way, Terrence, when I forgot about this. Naomi thinks about it now as Terrence looks around. Terrence gets down and starts looking at the tracks and stuff. Terrence is wearing this hide armor, and suddenly Naomi gets this. It hits her that she's been away from her friends for quite a while. He reminds her terribly of Jasper, except he's much more like Tarloff than he is Jasper, and it makes her really realize how sad and maybe inverted or maybe damaged that Jasper is. So she makes kind of a mental note that she wants to, when she sees Jasper next, she needs to ask him how he's doing. They had been in some really stressful times, but he had been going out in the wilderness a lot. He seemed very withdrawn. Anyway, Terrence seemed like a very happy Jasper, a younger happy Jasper. Anyway, Terrence goes, there's fresh scrape marks, and this door's been opened and it's been closed. So, it doesn't take Shanna very long to open. She manages to pick the lock and open it, and they pull it open. The crypt is very dark, moldy. Seems far older than the others, and that they've investigated today. No, I didn't say you could do that. The ceiling is low and the stone flooring is cracked and uneven. Black mud oozes in the joints and cracks of the stone dressing. To either side, cobweb-fouled burial niches hold the moldering remains of ancient warriors and rusted hauberks of mail. At the back of the crypt, they can see an unusual sign or seal of some kind, glinting in the weak daylight. Naomi, Miles, and Terrence, and Serene start heading in. Deeper in. They creep closer, trying to see what kind of emblem watches over the warrior's rest. Suddenly they hear an odd creaking sound and whirl just in time to see the bronze door slam shut. The darkness is total. They hear Lars and Shanna outside go, "Hey, wait, wait!" And the door slams shut and the darkness is total. And as they hurry, Serene's like, "I've got a torch." She's hurrying to use her flint to light the torch. They hear the rustle and clanking of rusty mail all around them as the skeletons of these fallen warriors come to life. And yes, we are in the first battle of the night. Roll for initiative. And we shall. Okay. We got Niles. We got Miles. What? Not Miles. We got Niles and Miles and Piles. No. We've got Niles and we've got Naomi, Terrence, and Serene trapped in here. And I need this. Here we go. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's see with these skeletons. Initiative. Wow. Oh. All right. We got to click over. Now, I'm going to click over. If you've been watching, we're in between cameras here. I'm so not happy with this. But I had a little bit of technical difficulty with a certain app and using my phone, so I've got to use a webcam here. It's not the best case. Please forgive. It'll be better when I figure this out. Hopefully the app will start working. It's good enough. We can see the die rolls. That's what's important. All right. Because what's important is look at that die. I just rolled that. That's the skeleton's initiative. Great. Great. And there are a lot of them. No lie. There are 10 of these suckers. All coming to life in this crypt. Alright. They're at 20. Naomi's going to roll. Oh, it's going to be like that, is it? Jeez. Miles is rolling. At least he got a 15. You got any pluses, Miles? Captain Miles from the King's army. Just traveling through Pommeville. Glad to help. Nope. He just has no pluses, so he's at rocking a 15. Serene. What you got, girl? Okay, let's roll you. 9. And Terrence. 18. Terrence. All right. So, let's see. They're all humans. Oh, except for Miles. Miles is a dwarf. He's got a lantern, too. Serene says, "Protect me. I'm going to light the torch." Okay. So she's going to have to take her around to do that. The skeletons are attacking first. This is nutty. This is nutty patutty. This could all end right here. This whole adventure could be done. Seriously. We got to start rolling for these guys. What are we going to do? They come in from all sides. Luckily, they don't have weapons. They're not weapon-carrying skeletons. They are fist-wielding skeletons. All right, so if Naomi, Terrence, and Miles form kind of a triangle around Serene, they kind of all kind of go back to back and kind of get their weapons up, because they that's, what's cool is Midas is her little knight, Serene's little knight, her little knight familiar. He is ready to rock, and since he's a familiar, not like a real person, we're gonna say he can see in the dark too. Yeah, he's gonna go to town protecting her. So that's what happens. They back up really quick, all kind of touching each other's shoulders. Gear up. Miles goes, be ready. They're all around us. Put up. Give Serene time to light that torch so you can see. Look out, Naomi, look out. All right. So there are 3 peeps here. So it's always the same thing too, man. Well, no, Terrence is a big dude too. Somebody's getting an extra hit. We'll determine that in a second. So we're going to go 3 are attacking Naomi with their filthy hands. All she hears is a clink, rustle, and then we'll see. She's got 16. I'm going to roll 3. Okay. Suddenly the rustle is closer, and she feels this pummeling on her armor. Boom, boom, and then one slaps her, claws across the face. And where is that? Oh, here it is. It's going to do 1 to 3 points of damage. Doing 2 points of damage across her face. Starting out by getting slapped. Bitch slapped by a skeleton. B slapped? B slapped. Getting sucker punched by a skeleton. I like that. That's a lot better. Okay, fine. Oh man, this camera is not so great with the whole rolls. You know what? Look, I'm going to do this episode without the dice tray in camera. You tell me in the comments if you missed out on the rolls or not. Because I'm going to tell you what I rolled, and I'm not going to fudge the rolls. I hate that. If you've been following and watching this, you know I don't try to cheat. All right. Or if you want to speak up and do some rolls for me, that'd be cool too. Naomi just got hit. Okay. Now 3 are attacking... 3 are attacking Terrence. Terrence has high armor. He's 13 armor class. Ooh, good. We rolled a 4, 11, and a 13. So one of these, same deal. He kind of puts his dukes up, his sword up, and he feels some bashing up against the sword, the skeletons, and then he feels one bony thing come across and hit his arm, maybe his elbow really hard, doing 2 points of damage to him. Man, they hit hard, he thinks. All right, and now Miles. Now Miles can see them coming. Miles has an armor class. What's your armor class, Miles? Armor class of 19. These guys, he's got his shield up and his cross. He's got plate armor. He's got his shield up and his long sword drawn. They just beat against the shield. Ching-ching-ching. And that Terrence gets hit in the arm, but that doesn't stop him going, all right, it's my turn. And he had walked into this crypt with his short sword. We're going to assume they all drew their weapons as they walked into the crypt. So he strikes out blindly. Serene hasn't. He knows there's 3 in front. Oh, wait, we got one. Hold on. We got one more that's making a move here. That one's attacking Naomi. And he rolled a 15, just barely missing her. Once she got hit in the face, she moves back, and another bony hand comes. You can feel it just wipe right past her nose. Okay. Now Terrence strikes out blindly. He's striking blindly. He should be rolling one die less on the die chain. If you're familiar with Dungeon Crawl Classics, they have this concept called the dice chain, where the dice chain goes all the way to 30, but usually start at D20. And if you get a minus one in the dice chain, means you're rolling a D16, which I have right here. So he's going to roll a D16 with his short sword. He gets +2. And he rolled a 12 +2. He connects. He feels the crunch of connecting with one of these skeletons. And he does 1d6 +2. Wow. His sword, not only does he feel his sword bite into something, he feels it go clean through. And he hears the satisfying clatter of bones hitting the floor. He calls out proudly, "One down!" Okay. So that was Terrence, and now it is Miles. Miles grunts in agreement, and he can see. So he's not going to take any penalty on his rolls. He's going to roll his might die, D20, and he's not going to do any mighty deeds, but he just rolled a 20 with his might die. 18 and 2 on his might die is 20, definitely hit. He does 1d8 with that fancy sword of him. His sword, he's down a little lower. He shoves his sword up and then goes like this. This isn't the first time he's fought a skeleton. And he just shatters its torso and it falls, clatters to the ground. And then he attempts to shield bash the one that's next to it. He's got to roll a d14 on that one. We're just going to roll a d16 and re-roll if we roll over a 14. He rolled a 9. Oh, he gets his 10. He misses with the shield bash. Doesn't really hit much with the shield bash, but it's a cool chance. Cool thing to do. All right. And now it is Serene's turn, and she gets that torchlight. She's, I almost got it. Here. And that's when everybody sees all the skeletons are fighting, and they're like, "Oh!" Serene even gasps a little bit, but Midas, actually, she's gonna keep Midas next to her for now, since the three are kind of surrounding them. If anything happens, Midas is gonna go to town, or does she send him out? He's itching to get out there. There's a lot of skeletons. When she sees the amount of them, she gives him the seal. She goes, "Go, Midas, go!" And he rushes out in front to one of the skeletons that's in front of Naomi. He's a tough little bugger, too. He gets +4. It does 1d6 damage. He's got 17 armor class and 10 hit points. He's a guardian familiar. We'll just roll this. What was he need? 13, yeah. Oh, he hit. And he's doing d6. He rolled a 5. Let's see, that was +4 and a hit, but it wasn't. He just does 1d6 points of damage, not plus. Oh, but it doesn't matter. So this little knight, ching, 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 comes running out and just chops a skeleton's leg. And it goes out from under it, and the skeleton comes down. It's not technically dead, but as it comes down, he just shoves his sword up. Oh, you know what? These guys take half damage from piercing weapons. So, rounded down. So he smashes this one's leg, and it let's see, Naomi hasn't hit yet. Terrence rolled an 8, and half of that's 4. He killed a zombie. A skeleton. Miles rolled like a 6 he rolled an 8 as well. He killed him too. Okay, I'm just making sure that I didn't follow that up, because those guys did get legitimate kills. Okay, Midas smashes one's leg, and it comes falling down, but it's still alive, and it's going to start hacking at him. He brought it down to his level, and it's got 1 hit point left. Not that you needed to know that. All right, Naomi. Okay, seeing the amount of skeletons, Naomi's first instinct is to grab her holy symbol, take it out, and attempt to turn these guys. She gets a +5 to do this. This will be her first roll of the game. Okay. All right. Holy crap. Holy moly, she crit. She crit. She gets I think it's plus her. Yeah, she gets plus her spell check. Plus, it's 10? That's how that works, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. She gets double her plus. So she gets +5 to make this kind of check. She gets +10. Wow, she just rolled a 40. That pretty much means that... Oh, that's awesome. She's holy smiting these guys. Boy, did we need this. If you've been watching... She really needed this. This is awesome. So she rolled so good that a cone of holy smite is going to burst forth from her. I'm going to double check this all because I want to make sure we do this on the up and up. Dungeon Crawl Classic doesn't have a crap ton of rules, but the ones they do have are, you want to respect them. That's what makes it fun. First off, I want to check that whole spell crit thing. Spell check. Criticals. A spell check resulting on natural 20 is a critical success. Receives an additional bonus to his check equal to his caster level. Right? Oh. Okay. Okay, that's just caster level. So she's 5. It's +7, not +10. But that still means she... Okay. Okay, so... She was 20. It wasn't 30. It was 20. Okay, good. So it's 27. It's okay. She's still smiting these guys. She's still... It's just not a cone, and it might not destroy them all, but it is going to mess them up. I got a little too excited right away. If you know how bad I roll, then you know why. At high levels, a cleric's turn attempt produces holy energy that smites unholy creatures in a close proximity. This is an addition to the turning effect. It can be directed in the same direction as the cleric's line of sight for the turning attempt. The effect and range varies as described below. All of them take the damage automatically with no save. Beam. She's going to do a beam. It's concentrated light that can direct against one target within 60 feet. Okay, so one of the ones right in front of her is going to take damage. 3 points of damage. It's blown back, but it's not dead. However, the turn effect is 1d8. Wait, what's the D1d4? Oh, she did roll high enough where they just take automatic. Okay, that's cool. So this is what happens. Let's see. She's going to do 1d8 plus caster level. So roll high. Let's see what she rolls. She rolls 6 plus 2 is 8. There are only 8 of these guys left because 2 are dead. All 8 of them disperse in a frantic smashing up against the walls, doing 1d4 points of damage to themselves. 1 point of damage. Doing 1 point of damage to themselves. 3. So they're all smashed up against the walls, freaked out, not coming anywhere near her. Easy pickings. We're just gonna say it doesn't take the team long to just cut them down at that point. Yeah, because it's gonna be for how long? Let's see. They also take 1d4 damage. Got it. A turned creature continues to flee for 3d10 minutes. Yeah. We're just going to make this a wipe for the bad guys. Once that happens, and the moment that happens, it's kind of quiet as the bones are jangling up against the walls, and suddenly Serene speaks and says, "Color me impressed." And Naomi goes, maybe this is the right decision that she made. Maybe this is going to be okay. They make short work of the rest of the skeletons and work their way. And then they hear banging on the door. What's going on? What's going on? And they push it open from the outside, from the inside. And Shanna and Lars come peeking in. Lars is looking around, go, "Whoa, whoa! Is there any treasure in here?" He goes wandering in, and Naomi goes to stop him, and she goes, "There's nothing." He's like, "Oh, I want to see. You don't get all the fun." He comes walking in. Shanna's much more cautious than he. She goes, "What's you guys are all right? Okay. What's that back there?" She says. "Oh, we haven't checked it yet." They walk to the back of it, of the crypt, and it's an emblem. It's a large decorative bas relief on the back of the wall. Terrence says there's tracks in the mud leading up to the emblem. You can see them there. You sure that's not just the skeleton's prints? No. That's you can see there's one coming out just a little bit. You see there? We didn't see that. So it doesn't take. We're not going to worry about rolling for Shanna. Shanna figures it out. Opens up the door, and there's a click, and it opens up this way because there wasn't any kind of scraping on this side. It opens this way, in, and there's stairs going down. This must lead, Shanna Serene. This must lead into the mountain. She does one of the keep, or the ruins are above us on the hill up here. This is leading into the mountain. Down, rather, into the mountain. Should we check it out? Tracks lead here. Might as well. We saw the wisp, the energy wisp, go this way. It could easily have come in here. All right. So Serene lights a torch. Miles has a lantern. He's got a sword, a lantern. He's going first, followed by Terrence. No, followed by Naomi, and then Serene, and then Terrence, and then Lars. And that's how they're going to go into this place. Where are we? So the stairs don't go down very far, and they find themselves in a hallway. The hallway looks like different type of stone than the crypt that they just left. A little as they start walking down, it's actually a little more decorated, but it's time worn, so there isn't. But there's little reliefs and stuff, and it looks like it's a nice tile of some sort. As they continue down the hallway, they come to seemingly a dead end. There's got to be some kind of look for the trick, and Shanna finds, again, I'm not going to roll because I'm not going to have them go backward. She and for sake of narrative, she finds a button, and the wall shifts back. In fact, if I was going to do this, I should have just been like, yeah, and they find a door. Anyway, but the wall reveals, and they find themselves behind what looks like, to look up, it's a huge statue going up into the ceiling of some sort, and there's room to move around it. And they cautiously move around this statue and find themselves in a very large room. Hold. Okay. Very large. Very, very large. Very large room. Very. To the right, they see some stairs going up to these large double doors that seem to be open, and something's in between holding them open. There's deep niches along the walls all the way back to the other side, and there's a altar. It looks like an altar at the far end. The floor is tiled with a mosaic. They can't really tell what it is just yet because they haven't gone out and looked at it yet. And overhead, a vaulted ceiling is about 20 feet above the floor. The niches contain grotesque statues of horrifying creatures with fang-filled maws and vicious spikes. The altar sits on a raised dais and is decorated with sinister carvings and human skulls. Flanking the altar are 2 iron braziers. In the corners of this evil shrine stand 2 taller statues of dark, armor-clad warriors. So they move slowly in, and as they're kind of moving in, Miles steps on one of the mosaics on the floor. When he does that, this pain shoots up. It's like a shock. He's, oh God! 1d4, please. It rolled weird. Here, we'll roll this one. By meaning it stood up on its head. Taking 2 points of damage. Miles. Oh, Miles. What do you got here? Oh, he's only got 10 hit points, too. Oh, he's only got 8 now. Okay. All right, Miles. Don't. What? What was that? What? Looking for monsters. And Serene comes out, and she says, it looks like you stepped on, and when she's looking at it, she notices that it's like a serpent, like a coiled serpent made out of mosaic, tiled mosaic. And then on in front of it, on the other side, it's a serpent or a dragon emblem. And she says, I noticed this emblems on a lot of the ruins up on top of the mountain too. I think we found ourselves in the temple itself. Suddenly I hear out, wow, I bet there's some good stuff on that altar. And Lars takes off, being a beeline for the altar. Serene calls out, she'll stop, don't go. Now we're going to give Lars an intelligence check. We're going to make an intelligence check with him. He has no bonuses either. He crit. He immediately stops. Mostly it's because Serene. He knows who Serene. Obviously, he knows who Serene is. He stops, and he kind of like stops where he is, staring at there. He's like, well, "What do you think?" And she comes up. She goes, "I think, I don't know, but we don't know what kind of magic is here. In fact, let me." And as she's saying that, Naomi speaks up. She says, "Do you hear that crying?" They all look at her, and then they all listen. What crying, lass? Miles says, "So someone weeping, a woman, it sounds like. You don't hear it at all." No, we don't hear it at all. Serene looks at her, and then she goes, I'm gonna cast a spell. Everybody move back. All right, so Serene's gonna attempt to cast Detect Magic. She would get +2 for this, but because it's a cleric spell, technically, she has to do it at a -2. Oh boy, that's 9. 9. She needs a 12. Yeah. She needs a 12. She rolled a 9. She's spending luck. Oh, I hate to spend luck. Well, she's got to do it, otherwise she's going to forget the spell. She's going to spend luck. She had 12. She's going to spend 3 points of luck to increase that die roll to wait, no, she doesn't get. Wait, well, hold up. She doesn't get -2 on that roll. I just didn't add her multiplier. I mean, her spell check bonus. So 11, she actually needs to spend 1 luck point. That makes a lot more sense. She is holding up. When a cleric casts detect evil, they hold up their holy symbol. She's holding up. She's using her dagger as kind of as a focal point, and she does it in front of the altar. And to her eyes, the altar starts glowing. The altar and the dais itself around the altar starts glowing. And then she looks up, and one of the warriors at its top, right around its chest, maybe about 10 or about 15 feet off the ground, it's glowing. There's something glowing inside there. She can see the glow coming through seams, and notices it's almost like a compartment. And she says, look, the dais is magical in some sort. I don't know what or how, but there's also something up there. And Naomi looks up. She goes, I could swear that's where that weeping's coming from. Really? So Terrence and Naomi and they all walk over and look up at the statue. Like, how do we get up there? And Shanna goes, I can get up there. I can get up there easy. Not super easy, but she does. She is a thief, and she can climb flat surfaces really, really well. It's kind of her thing. She is, she's neutral, right? She's neutral. Depending on your alignment, you get different modifiers for doing thiefy stuff. She is indeed, no. Yes, she's neutral. Okay. Neutral, bonus, level 1, climb sheer surfaces, +3. Okay. Plus her agility modifier, +3, +4. Quite easy. Quite easy, she does it. Takes her a little bit of time, but she gets up there. She says, what? She says, oh, I see it now. I see this seam now. And she finds a little indentions in the sides, and is able to. She kind of supports herself in the arm of one of the warrior and pulls, and she says, "Look out below!" And this big plate comes off, revealing this recess inside. She looks in. And then that's when a glow happens, and a light shoots out, almost blinds her. She's like, "What the?" She reaches in, and she grabs something. She goes, heavy. Oh, it's a weapon. And suddenly the weapon, it says, drop me to her. And Shannon just goes, gah! And drops it. And Naomi, not even thinking, just steps up and catches it. And when it catches, she catches it. She's looking at it, and it starts glowing again, putting off light's like 20 feet around her. And it says to her, Our Lady told me you were coming. She told me my captivity would end soon. It's been so long. And Naomi's staring at this warhammer. It's a warhammer, beautifully made, glowing, gold inlaid, with some silver. She can weld it one-handed. And it says, we must cleanse this place, it says. I need it to happen. And Naomi, it takes a minute from Naomi, and Serene goes, this is amazing. It's a sentient Are you alive? Serene asks the Warhammer. And the Warhammer goes, I am the law's light. I was created many, many, many centuries ago, and I've been trapped in here for much longer than I would ever imagined. Thank you for freeing me. Thank you for saving me, Naomi, daughter of Justitia, Our Lady. Who knows? Naomi wonders and realizes maybe she's here to have saved this Warhammer. Maybe that was the whole reason she's here, was to save this weapon. The weapon speaks inside her mind. We have a lot to do, you and I. Let's get doing it. The source of the evil of this place lies below that altar. Why don't you step on it? Approach the altar. Naomi looks at the altar and starts walking. As she starts walking, the sword says, "It's going to be a struggle. Prepare yourself." Naomi pauses for a second, but then realizes a test when she hears one, and so walks up. And as she steps on the dais, there's this whirring, and suddenly from everywhere around her, these shadows attack. With a screeching and wailing, shadows attack her, and they attack quickly and without warning. Yeah. There are 4 of them, although to her it looks like it's all dark. It's suddenly it's all darkness on her. So I'm going to roll 40 20s. We have 1 6. They get +1. So 1 7, 1 12, 1 12, and 1 20. One of them, they're whirling around her, testing her defenses. The light's backing them off in some places, but one gets through, and she feels its cold touch on her through her chainmail. It does 2 points of damage to her. Doesn't sound like a lot, but she's got 17, so she's got 15 now. Well, 17 hit points. So, no, that's Serene. The wizard has 17. That's because of the familiar. No, Naomi does have 17. 19 total, but no, she has 15. And there's 4 of them. We're gonna roll initiative for these guys. Initiative for the shadows is 7. There's okay. Initiative for Naomi is 15. Miles is 8. 9. Serene is 1. Terrence is 3. Hello, Terrence. Oh, Terrence is 4 actually. Right? Yeah. All right. Terrence is the first to act. Oh, no. Terrence is not the first to act. Naomi's the first to act. And her, the law's light cries out in joy. Purge! We must cleanse this now. I've waited so long. And Naomi swings her new warhammer for the first time. It sings in her hand. Light bursts all around it, and it is specially made for killing undead and demons. Let's see, it's +2. Naomi is got +2, so it's +4, but then it's plus additional 1 against undead, so she gets +5 on this attack. She strikes 1 for 18, does 1d8 points of damage. One of the shadows evaporates. Yes. Begone, foul beast. Law's light says. 1's down. Miles, yeah, Miles, yes. Miles cries out for Naomi and strikes at one of the shadows, but he strikes true, but his weapon goes right through it. Damn. Not to be not to be showed up. Terrence tries to strike out at one, and same deal. His sword just goes right through it. Serene says, "It's gonna take magic, boys," and she says, "It's gonna take magic, boys. This is Naomi's fight." So this is just gonna be Naomi. They'll step in if the things get too bad. There are 3 left, 3 shadows left. They all take hits at Naomi. 11, a 12, a 13, and an 18. Another one hits, doing 2 points of damage. She's got 13. Not too bad. Yeah. Swing! She swings again. A 13 again, plus 5, 18. She's doing D8, ton of... Yep. Another one evaporates. 2 more attacking her. Ooh, a 16 and a 15. So one of them hits. 3 points of damage. 3 points of damage. She's at 10. Naomi's getting her footing now. She's getting she was born for battle. She has found, and that's why her and Justicia seem to be going well together. She rolls a 16. She's gonna be 21, obliterating yet another shadow. There's one left. It's wailing, flowing around her. It rolls a 16, hits her for 5. Because she's been doing +1. She is at 5 hit points. Justicia, or Law's Light says, "Don't let as the cold bites into her." Law's Light says, "Don't falter, daughter of Justicia." But daughter of Justicia does falter. She does not swing as hard as before. The cold had sunk pretty deep into her. Serene and Naomi, Terrence and Naomi, and Terrence and Miles cry out a little bit and edge closer. Serene begins to cast a spell. She casts. Well, I'll tell you if it happens. 133. Okay. She says her eldritch words. 9, 10, 11. She's gonna spend 1 point of luck so she doesn't forget this spell. Jeez. Me and my. Suddenly, her hands crackle with energy. It's almost like a dark energy. She's all charged up. That'll happen next round. The shade dives, tries to go right into Naomi's mouth, and she blocks it with the hammer. Just at the last moment, Naomi puts the hammer up and it blocks it off, flows back around her and misses her, and she strikes out. This time she hits it, and it is dead. Justice and Law's Light says, "Good, you've done good. This is good." Serene goes, cancels the spell on her hands. "I was worried about you," and they Serene steps up on the dais carefully. She goes, "You released the spirits that were guarding this altar. There must be some way to open this on the table here." Shanna comes up and starts looking at it while Naomi backs off. Miles comes to Naomi and says, "Are you all right, lass?" And Terrence too. "You're okay. Do you need to take a rest?" Naomi says, just one moment. She gets down on one knee and starts praying to Justicia, praying to heal herself. She's going to roll to heal herself. She gets +2 in that endeavor, right? No, +3. Yeah. That is an 18, ladies and gentlemen. She definitely healed herself. Wait, that was 18 plus. She's getting 4 dice. 4 dice of healing. That's 4d8. So I think she's going to be back up. Let's see. Should be. 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. She's back right up to 19. Oh, I'm feeling it tonight. She is feeling the love tonight. This is good. This is really good. Not only does she have a kick-ass weapon, but she is back. She is back in the game. They watch as the glow and love of Justicia flows over Naomi, almost lifts her up as she stands up. She's like, I'm ready to go on. They're like, yeah, all right. And that's when Shanna let's see here, Shanna. And that's when Shanna cries out in pain. She had begun moving skulls on the altar, trying to figure out if there was some kind of mechanism here to open something, a doorway. The sword, they'd all heard the sword, that there was something underneath the altar. And in doing so, she tripped a trap and cries out in pain as the poison needle hits her for 4 points of damage. Where are you at, bro? Oh. Four points of damage. She slumps to the ground. She's not dead, but she is hurt pretty bad. Naomi rushes over. Yes, help her, help. Naomi says, shush. Light, Law's light shushes. All right, we're going to try this roll again. Shanna is neutral. She is not. She is adjacent. Let's see how Justicia feels about her. Well, Justicia is about helping the needy. Well, the Law's light is about helping the needy. Their special purpose is to help the needy and the weak. Protect the weak. Let's go. All right, she gets +3. And that's 8. So, yeah, it did not work. And she got a little, she whispers to Justicia, and Shanna goes, it's okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And, okay, but she can hardly stand. I'm trying again. Because she looks at the wound, and the wound's already said there's like green moving up her arm. Now Naomi's disapproval range increased by 1. So we'll see what happens. She rolled a 12 +3 is 15, which means she heals her 2 dice. So she did not incur the wrath of Justicia, and she heals Shanna for 4 points of damage. That's good. That puts her back up to 5. And the green of the poison recedes as she draws it out with her healing light. Yeah. I want these. No, I don't. Look, there's like a cloud of darkness there. Darkness. Fine. Okay. What just happened? She gets back up. She goes, okay. Shanna, that's Shanna. I can do this. There's definitely a mechanism here, because she had pulled one skull that was attached to the desk, but it kind of came up like it's part of the table, like it's a lever, and there's 4 or 5 of them. So she's gonna roll again, and yep, this time she goes, here. I think this is. She does it in the right way, pulling 2 of them back and 1 forward, and suddenly, the altar starts moving, and they all have to move out of the way as it reveals a staircase going down into darkness. So we're going into darkness. Miles, Naomi, Miles with his lantern, Naomi, all weapons are drawn. They go down the stairs and find themselves in a dark, literally dark place. Literally, because the secret staircase from the altar winds down through solid rock, descending about 30 feet further into the cairn. It emerges in a dark chamber of polished black granite. Directly ahead of you is a large double door, emblazoned with the coiled serpent seal you've seen elsewhere in the ruins. Beside the door, a series of soft glowing words are cut into the rock. On their left and right, a couple of smaller doors lead back towards the north. The room is unnaturally cold. Their breath hangs in the air, and they can't suppress a wave of shivering that strikes them. The sword goes, you can use me for light, and you just say the word, or think it, and one of the perks of the sword is it'll light 20 feet in a direction. Miles goes, huh. He puts out the lantern, puts it down. Serene puts out her torch, and then she goes, I'm gonna keep the torch. Okay. And the sword goes, the interloper, the defiler's in there, in the door that's in front of them. And so they walk up to the door, and on the door is inscribed some words alongside the emblem. It says, in this year, the 300, and it's written in a common tongue, in the 317th of the realm, I set the seal upon the crypt beyond this door. I set my seal upon the crypt beyond this door. Evil slumbers within. Toward the realm I have placed my stave over the tomb. Let no person disturb it. Heed this, my warning. Prefect and Bishop Estera Trueheart. Huh. We should probably not touch this serpent, huh? What do you think? Do they all do they all shock? It might be, Serene goes, it might be just those of us that aren't evil or undead. Huh. Is it open? Well, try pushing on it. Just don't touch the snake. It doesn't push, but it does pull. They pull this door open. Careful not to touch the serpent, of course. And it's a much bigger room than the one they're in. They start walking in slowly, and in the center of this room lies a massive stone sarcophagus on a raised dais. Always with the dais. The chamber has a high vaulted ceiling of dark granite. 4 braziers in the corners burn with smokeless green flame that casts evil shadows throughout the chamber. Across the room you see a shelf of a small altar with a skull made of pure crystal resting on it. The walls and floor are bare of any decoration, and the air is as cold in here as it was in the chamber outside. The green light of the torches dances in the eyes of the crystalline skull. Stepping closer, they see that the sarcophagus in this room's center is encircled by a protective circle of ruins cut into the stone floor. They start moving in the room, looking around. Do we open up? Is it in the sarcophagus? The sword says, the defiler's and his remains are in there, but be careful. And then that's when they hear motion coming from behind them. They hear a thump, 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 and a clackety clackety, and and they suddenly the groan of zombies, and darkening the door, they start spreading out a little bit, and in through the door, almost seems like it can't even fit through it, but it somehow manages. It puts down its head and walks in. Is the biggest zombie they've ever seen. In fact, it's it's like, I'd say minotaur, but it's not a bullhead. It's like a some kind of jackal or some very large wolf. Maybe it's a large dire wolf head. Man body, very large though, and very dead and decaying body. And its eyes glow with this green witch fire that just kind of flows out of it. Behind it, clack, 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 skeletons start pouring in. And then behind the skeletons, they see zombies pushing their way in. This thing just kind of comes, it's got this huge battle axe. And it seems you found my home, it says. And now we're rolling for initiative. Got a lot of players here. We've got four zombies. Where's my notes at? Yeah. We got 4 zombies, 4 skeletons, and we got the big dude. Big dude. BD. Naomi, Miles, Shanna, Serene, Terrence. Oh, you know what? I didn't include Shanna in that last fight. Not that anybody could really do anything. She wasn't inside the crypt. Oh, and we have Lars. Lars goes, "Oh my gosh, my gods!" And it's the sound of somebody who sounds like they're gonna crap their pants. Okay, so we're gonna roll initiative for. We're gonna start from the back. Skeleton or zombies. 5. Zombies are -4, I think. 2. There's -3. So they're at a 2. Skeletons are at a 6. Big dude is at a 14, 16. Naomi is at a 17. Miles 15. Shanna 14. Serene 9. Terrence. Yes, Philip. Is that a 19? No, it's a 13. 14. And Lars, buddy. Finally gonna get to fight. 19. Wow. Okay, so Shanna was a 4. All right, it's Lars is up first, and Lars, with a scream in terror, he's like, I can't do. What is this? I can't. He runs to the back of all the way to the back of the room. There's no other doors. The only doors are when they came in, and there's sarcophaguses in the middle. There's the braziers in the corners, and all these creatures are pouring in from the door they came. He runs to the back of the thing, huddling in the corner, probably soiled himself. Naomi and the sword goes, that's the defiler. That's the defiler here. Destroy this body first. Now, I don't think the sword should be given this much direction. The sword goes, the sword says, yes, let's cleanse this place of these creatures. And Naomi's just got eyes for big dude. This is her fight again. She is completely within range. He's only like 10 feet away. Or maybe 15 feet, 20 feet away. She rushes up on him. She screams out, in the name of Justitia. She runs and strikes at him with Law's Light. With her +5. Oh boy, does she hit him. She doesn't crit, but she does hit him. Doing where are you, Naomi? How much damage are you actually doing here? Okay, she does 7. It's respectable. It's respectable. Yeah. The big dude attempts to raise his battle axe in time as she cleaves, as Law's light pounds into his chest. Knocks him back. He's not dead, though, for those of you. And he returns. He's, swinging the battle axe. We need an appropriate bad guy die. Oh, look at you, guy. You, did not hit her. He swings with his battle axe, comes down, and she steps lightly to the side, much quicker than he expected with her armor. And his battle axe clangs with sparks on the ground. Miles, with a roar, goes after skeletons. In fact, he's going to attempt to slam one skeleton so hard he knocks it into another. That's going to be his mighty deed. Ooh. What does he got? Oh, he's got... Okay. All right. Not only did he hit, he actually rolled a 3 on his might die. So we're going to give that to him. We're going to give... first we're going to do damage. He does 1d8 with his longsword. Okay, well, he's doing 4. Okay, yeah, he's doing 4 points of damage. All right, he hits this thing so hard it bursts into bones, and we're gonna roll a d14 to see if it hits the one next to him. Plus his might die. We'll add the 3. It doesn't, unfortunately. He does hit it so hard it explodes, and almost hits the one next to it, but doesn't quite. The might die, I would say, gave him the opportunity to roll again to see if he hit the other one. And he didn't. Terrence screams out, attacks a skeleton. Oh, wait, we gotta mark these skeletons dead. There's 4 of them. Yeah. Terrence yells out and strikes. He runs up and strikes the skeleton as well. He hits. He's doing d6. Yeah. Ooh. Explodes on impact. Good job, folks. There's Terrence. Serene, what are you doing? Oh, Serene sends Midas up. Midas runs and his little legs. Actually, he's going to take a minute to get there. Well, no, he's not that far away. He runs up to the skeletons, like the big bad standing here. The skeletons had fanned out. Zombies that come behind, moving a little slower. Midas, Miles and Terrence had rushed the 2 on this side. Midas runs up to one of them on the other side. He rolls plus... Ooh, yeah, he definitely hit. And... you know what? I keep forgetting that we're only doing half damage. I got to remember that. So, these 2 skeletons... What did he hit? Oh, he hit... Yeah, they hit him for a lot of damage. Terrence didn't hit it for enough damage. Terrence's is still alive. He cleaves off some bones of one, but his is still alive. But this... let's see. He's going to do 7 points of damage. Rounded down is 3. So these 2 are still alive. Little Midas, same strategy. He slices one's leg, it falls down, and now he's going to fight it on his own terms. While Serene casts... Oh boy. Serene moves around and is attempting to cast a spell at the zombies. Yeah. It's zombies that are coming around, they're shambling around the skeletons. Well, yeah. No, she's gonna shoot the. Okay, she's gonna shoot. She's casting a spell on the skeletons that Midas is attacking. That's not. Let's see. She's rolling an 18. That is a respectable roll. Page 140. She is casting Flaming Hands. Okay. Her manifestation of Flaming Hands is fire springs from the wizard's fingertips. Okay. And we rolled, what, 18? Blast of fire that burns a single target within range for 1d6 cast level points of damage. Alright. She totally blows apart the one that's standing next to her Midas. Midas has got one on the ground. The other one that was next to it has blown in flames, bursts in flame, explodes. There's one down on the other side, one halfway down, and then Shanna. What do you got? She's got her short bow. She's taking a shot at one of the zombies. Oh, Shiza. She fumbles. That sucks. I think that's Leather's fumble. D8. She's fumbling. 4. Your weapon is damaged. The bowstring breaks. Oh boy. Alright, so her bowstring breaks the very wrong time. She throws down the bow and she goes to draw her what else has she got? She's got a short sword. So she draws her short sword. Now we're back at the top. No, we're not back at the top. It's actually skeletons should have went first. It's okay. All right. The one that Terrence cleaved off its arm attacks him, rolling a 6 and does not hit him. The one that's fighting Midas on the floor swings at Midas, and he rolls a 15. But Midas has got a 17, so he misses. Midas is very deft and agile with his little armor. He never lifts his thing. Serene's never seen his face. Doesn't even know if there's anything inside the armor. He's very quiet and stoic. Zombies. Zombies come shambling in. All right, there are 2 that are going to. One's going to shamble on towards. Actually, both are coming towards Serene. The other 2, one's going for Miles and misses, and the other one's going for Terrence and hits. Doing. Oh, they're actually pretty tough. 2 points of damage to Terrence. Okay, Terrence. Scrapes him good. Really good. That was the zombies. Now we're back at the top of the round, and it's Lars is pooping himself in the corner. Naomi swings Law's light. As it sings out, "You will be cleansed." Oh, crap. She rolled a 5. Even with +5, that is not enough to hit this guy. He laughs as he moves back and the hammer whistles past his chest hair. And then he strikes with his battle axe. Ooh, and he fumbles, ladies and gentlemen. He fumbles. His weapon becomes entangled in his armor. All right, no, not armor. He he goes to lift up the battle axe, and his arm, some part of his finger comes off. It's decayed. And it drops on the floor. So he's going to have to use his big, beefy claws and hands to do the rest of the damage. Can't be equipping zombies with weapons. Noob. Um, okay, so that's Naomi. Miles attacks these zombies. Miles attempts to do a defensive maneuver to defend him and Terrence. While he attacks one of these zombies. He fails, but he does hit the zombie, doing enough to completely chops off its head. It falls to the ground dead. That was Miles. Terrence. All right, Terrence. Terrence is going to back off. Terrence needs to kill this skeleton that's in front of him that he's been fighting. He hits, and he kills. There is one zombie left, the one that's on the floor fighting Midas. Is Midas up now? 15, 14, 9. Midas is up now. Midas goes in for the kill. Oh, he's going to kill him. He rolls a 19, basically. Yes! Midas just calmly strides up to this skeleton that's on the floor trying to hit him and just lops off its head. We've got no skeletons. We got 3 zombies, and we got the big bad dude. That's who's left. What's up, Time Pinkerton? It's Clinton, right? Clinton? Is that you? All right. Right. Big guy, big zombie dude. Oh no, who was that? Okay, so that was Serene. So Serene, that was her familiar who killed that skeleton, and now Serene, having had some success with flaming hands, points it again at the zombies that are all over Miles and Terrence. So she's going to roll. Whoops. And she rolls a 19. That's very good. That's a 21. 21. We'll roll, see how she manifests it. 4. Her skin. Okay, so she says her eldritch words. He points. Her skin begins to blacken and peel away to reveal skeletal hands dripping lava as a blast of fire burns up to 3 targets within range for 1d6 plus caster level. Okay, so the 2 zombies that are fighting Miles and Terrence burst into flames. Yes, they're both now on fire. So she only did 5 points of damage to either. No, 3 points of damage to either one of them. But they're both on fire. They're gonna be taking damage as they go. What up? So usually I have a die tray. Like I think I told you guys maybe I was telling Frank. I had a little problem with my webcam. I usually use my phone to do my secondary cam where I have it over top of the dice box. But the app recently updated and they screwed it all up and they're in the beta testing of some crap. And I can't find another good app that lets me transmit to my computer for high def for my phone. So I had to use this webcam and it just doesn't look as good. So I haven't been doing the dice tray. But usually you see exactly what I'm rolling when I'm doing this. And we're playing Dungeon Crawl Classics, by the way. Okay. Shanna has dropped her bow because the bowstring broke, and she rushes in to she rushes around the altar. Or no, she had moved back around the altar in order to get better aim with her short bow. She comes racing around and attacks one of the zombies that's attacking Miles. And she rolls a 2, just barely not fumbling. So her run, she overcompensated a little bit and completely missed and whiffed that one. That was Shanna, and now skeletons are dead. Zombies. That's when we hear the clack, clack, clack and the shuffle as more zombies and skeletons start pouring into the room. Or they're not pouring, they hear them in the other room moving towards there. Miles yells out, "Incoming!" Shit. Top of the round. Lars is still pooping his pants in the corner. Naomi swings Lightbringer, or Law's Light. Our hero, our star of this, has picked herself up a really sweet weapon that ultimately is probably why she's on this quest period. There's a bit of a backstory here. 15 plus 5 is 20. She hits. Big bad dude. That'd be great if she would have crit. She's doing... Oh, okay. Alright. 10 points of damage. Yeah, dude. So, Law's Light screams out and screams out in like joyful I want to say vengeance, righteous vengeance. She had been held, this weapon, a sentient weapon had been held in this place, this evil temple, for centuries, and this thing that's inhabiting the beast that they're fighting right now, we don't know what it is yet. It was probably the source of what kept her here. So she cries out in joyful, righteous vengeance as she plows into the side of its head, just taking its head with it. Psh, the head and blows out, and it erupts in light as it does it. The weapon, the Warhammer does, and the big beast slams to the ground, and there's no pause as they see skeletons coming in the door. But Miles yells out, "There's no end to these." Serene says, Serene looks back and she goes, "I think we need to kill that. We need to destroy that skull." So there's this altar at the back of the room with a crystal skull on it. She says, "Destroy the skull. Naomi, destroy the skull. And let's get the hell out of here." So Naomi agrees, and Miles and Terrence and Serene goes, "We'll take care of the skeletons. We'll keep them off of you." So they're going to move up while a new fresh set of skeletons and zombies move into the room. We'll keep the same initiative for everybody, so I don't have to re-roll them. Okay. So Naomi rushes back behind the altar, just as one of the zombies in front, as it's coming through, suddenly stops and then kind of slumps, and then it comes back up and its eyes erupt with green fire. And Naomi rushes over the altar and slams Law's Light down, smashing the skull. There's an eruption and kind of reverberation, and she doesn't see this, but the others do. That skeleton that had the green eyes, suddenly the green eyes snuff out, and Law's Light starts laughing. She starts saying, "Oh, it's trapped. It's trapped. Destroy its body." But Serene, Miles says, "There's even more in there. We've got to get out of here." So we've got to fight our way through this, because there's more skeletons coming through the hallway. So Naomi comes running back around the altar, or the sarcophagus that's in the middle, and Serene says, "Look, the glyphs that are around there, they're incomplete. And there's obviously this place where there's a rod that's missing. It looks like a rod shape that's missing around the glyphs around the sarcophagus. We've got to find that to seal this thing completely." "Is it here?" Naomi says. No, it's not here. I would wager that the group that came here before took it, and we're gonna need to find them. This all happens in a short amount of time, where the zombies and skeletons are now in the room, and they've got to fight their way out. Miles, everybody pulls back, and Miles goes, I'm gonna go first, and then, or actually, Naomi, you go first, and let's see if we can't slam our way through this tunnel. It's 4 skeletons front, and then there's zombies coming down the hallway into the room. So Naomi, they kind of gather up, and I guess we will roll initiative now. We'll roll a new set of initiative. What are we gonna do about Lars? Shanna runs back and says, "Get up! Get up! No, I can't. We're leaving now. Do you want to stay?" No. Lars is a 0 level peasant who thought he was a badass, and he came with them, and it's not working out for him. Skeletons, 9. Zombies are 1. Naomi is 7. Some crappy rolls, man. 3. Miles is 4. Shanna is 16. We'll make the plan based off what happens here. Terrence is 5, 4. This is a really low. Wow. Okay. Lars is 1. Well, he's last. That's good. Real good. It's actually going to work out fine. Well, it would if Shanna had her longbow. She goes up. Okay, Shanna goes, "Terrence, toss me your longbow or your short bow." And Terrence has to unsling it to throw it to her. So that takes up her action. And then it's Naomi. And Naomi sets Law's light and just rushes forward and slamming into the first skeleton that's before her. Whoa, that was a 4. What do we got here? I don't think that's gonna. No, that doesn't. She runs up. The intent is to slam into the skeleton, but it parries her. These skeletons all have weapons. These guys all have swords. The ones that come in. It parries her. Law's light yells out, "Ha ha! Finally one that can fight!" Law's light's the weapon, the warhammer that she's got in her hands. Okay. Then we got Miles, Serene, and Terrence all have the same. Terrence has more agility. He's passing the short bow to, has a higher agility. He's passing the short bow to Shanna, so we're going to skip him. And then Miles runs up behind Naomi to take out a skeleton as well. Miles is going to use his Mighty Deed. He's going to roll his Mighty Deed die to attempt to push. He's going to try to take out 2 of the skeletons that are that have fanned out in front of the door. He's going to try to take one. He's going to try what he did before, where he hits one into the other. He needs a D20 though. He didn't do that. He barely hits. He's got a +2. It's 11, 12. Wow. Okay, so this part's not going to go as well as the last one did. He misses. He's going to attempt to shield bash, and that doesn't work either. These skeletons seem to be a little bit more adept. All right, Serene, what are you going to do? Serene's been waiting this whole time to do this. So Serene's got a familiar who's actually a tiny little knight that's about a foot tall in full plate armor, who's a little badass. She's got Enlarge. She's going to cast Enlarge on him. That's a trick that she's been waiting to do since she learned it. And hopefully she doesn't forget the spell. So she's going to... Serene gets down and puts her hands on Midas. Okay, 14's not bad. 16. That puts her at enough. Yes, okay, so you can see how this manifests too. Okay, so she puts her hand down and starts whispering. Midas disappears, and when he reappears just a second later, he is about a quarter size bigger. So he's about 2 feet tall. or not 2 feet. He's quarter size, so he's a foot and whatever. But he's got a +1 to bonus to attacks, damage, and AC. So he's at 18 AC now, and he's got +6. So she does that. She whispers those words of power. He appears a little bit bigger, and then he rushes off. And she has him rush to attack. Yeah, they need to keep going through. So he's going past Naomi to attack the first zombie that's coming through the doorway. I keep rolling out. Ooh, he hit +5 too. That's pretty good, buddy. 4, 5, 6, 7. So this time he doesn't have to take minus the damage. Half the he doesn't have to half the damage. Midas with his little longsword he's got this great little strategy where he chops the legs of something and it falls, and when the zombie falls he impales its head on his sword and steps away and then runs for the next one. He's going to be the one that blazes our path through here. Naomi's going to follow suit after him. The skeletons attack. Oh, skeletons should have attacked a long fucking time ago, actually. Alright. We've got Naomi. They don't have any pluses, so barely. The sword bounces off her chainmail. Miles has one attacking him. Ooh, Miles got hit. Miles is a dwarf. Miles gets hit. He only gets a point of damage, though. But he doesn't have a whole... Oh, yeah, he does. He has 8 left. All right. Miles takes one. The lucky skeleton puts a short sword through a chink in his armor, slices his arm up a bit. But that just makes him happy. Oh, yeah! Right, skeleton on him, skeleton on her, and then we got 2 left that were on the other side. They come... Yeah, they're racing towards Terrence and Serene. They come clacketing up. Clackety-clacketing. One fumbles. That's cool. One fumbles. As it comes clacketing up and goes to swing at him with its sword, it's just like the zombie. Its sword comes loose and its bony hands and goes flying off across the over top of the sarcophagus. So it comes up to meet Terrence without a sword. The one that attacks Serene bites into Serene. But Serene is actually quite tough. Yes, she takes 3 points of damage. All right. Okay, that was skeletons, and now we got zombies. They're a single file in the hallway, coming into the room, or in the other room coming into the room, and it's attacking Midas, who's trying to carve a path for them. 17. Ooh, he actually nope. He has 18 now because of his size. Yeah, it almost hits him. Almost. He dodges at just the right second, just like the orc captain in Lord of the Rings. Return of the King. Okay. That was all the baddies. And now Lars. Lars gets up, his pants soiled, and runs up with Shanna to join the group. And we're at the top of the round. Shanna, now with a short bow, takes aim at... She knows her short bow isn't going to do the best with the skeleton, so she takes aim in the doorway. She looks... It's only like 30 feet away. She sees that Midas is the little dude. She can barely see the little dude, the little knight guy fighting another zombie in the doorway. So she's taking aim at that zombie. Here, let's roll this. Baby, what's your pluses? Not enough. But she can use her luck. And she hasn't yet. So she gets +2. She's at 10. And these zombies have an AC of 10. Never mind, she hit. Okay, well, let's do that. That sounds awesome. Let's roll D6 +2. 5, 7. Schlunk. Not only does she hit, the arrow sinks deep in this zombie's brain, forcing him to fall back dead. There's more in that room, but there's definitely an opening now. Well, an opening in the doorway. They still got to get past the skeletons. That was her. Now it's Naomi. No, actually, technically it should be the skeletons. The skeletons had rolled 9 initiative. They should be going now. Naomi is getting hit by a skeleton. It misses. She parries it. Miles is being attacked. He blows off the short sword with his shield. One of them, the one is attacking Serene. It hits again. It's a double slice. She's, her robe barely protects her from taking another 2 points of damage. And then one is swinging its swings a claw at Terrence. Ooh, nasty. It's a crit. It's a crit. Gotta look up undead crit table. Yeah, I think in my mind it's a woman. Its voice is a woman. They heard it weeping, and it sounded like a woman when she heard it. The deity. So I'll give you a little backstory because I doubt you watched this last episode, but this is outside of the normal group. Naomi, our cleric, she's only second level. She chose a deity when she became a cleric. She chose Pelagia, the goddess of the sea, at the time, and it didn't really work out for her for a lot of different reasons. And she was neutral. She ended up realizing that she was actually lawful. She dropped Pelagia and then went through kind of like a little bit of a bad time and found Justitia, the goddess of mercy and law. And Justitia gave her, in order to take her on as a cleric, Justitia gave her a geas, made her leave the normal party and travel miles and miles, 100 miles away to this, telling her that only that this village needed her help. So she came to this village, and the very night she stayed, it got overrun by zombies, and she helped them through that, and the next morning she's band up with this group of people. She kind of got all these people to come with her, and they kind of went into this ancient temple to figure out what the hell's going on. And that's where we are right now. That was a long story short. We're going to find out what... I had to look up... I found this old D&D module. It's a second edition. It's called the Clerics Challenge. That's what we're playing right now. Although I've tweaked it a bit. It didn't have a sentient sword in it. But I tweaked it a bit for other reasons. But the sentient sword ended up is the reason why was actually what Justitia wanted her to do. In addition to saving the town, Justitia wanted her to find this sword for some reason. We'll see. For better or for worse. You'd think it'd be for better, but you never really know with deities. Alright, we got a crit table for undead here. I think he's rolling 1d4 on it. Pretty sure. Bone white, too. The cold touch of undead spreads across the wound. This attack inflicts plus 1d4 damage, and the PC gets the chills, chattering her teeth noisily until magically healed. So, Serena, while tough, because of her guardian, takes the hit and takes an additional 1d4 points of damage. We gotta roll. This is 2d... No, it has a sword. Did I just say 2d4? 1d4. Okay. 6 points of damage. Ooh, so that cut pretty bad. That puts her at 6. And now she's chattering. And now Midas has come running back to defend his yeah, no problem, man. Midas is coming running back. That was the skeletons. Now it's Naomi's turn. And she's been doing so good tonight. She's got to, where's my gold die? Where are you? There you are. Let's see if this helps. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, I'm behind. Yeah, that didn't help. So she fumbled. Big time. All right. Her fumble die is D12. So that's a 4. Okay, it's the weapon is damn. Oh no. Okay, so I'm not going to say that Law's Light can actually be damaged. So it swings and the skeleton swings at the same time. And it actually gets entangled somehow with the hilt of its sword. And she finds herself fighting with the skeleton just to get the hammer out from however it got tangled with the sword. So it's out of commission right now. But it's not going to break. That's not going to happen. Sorry, rules. Right. That was unfortunately her. Now it's Miles. Miles. Come on, buddy. All right, I got to stop rolling the gold die because that's not really working for us. That's not enough to fight these skeletons either. But they're doing he's going to attempt to shield bash. Roll a 1d14. Well, it's a 1d16 and we'll just re-roll. Hey. Oh, you know what? Oh, that wouldn't have helped anyway. He's got to roll his might die every time too. These skeletons are a little hardier. Yeah, they got 13. Oh, wait, that's 13. Okay, so at least he shield bashed it. It does 1d3 points of damage. 1 point of damage to this thing. All right. Terrence. All right, Terrence. Finally. Terrence is facing this. Oh, there we go. There we go. He's got to do a lot of damage, though, because he's using a sword. Does 2 points of damage to this stupid skeleton. Okay. All right, and Serene. All right, Serene. She's got a flaming hands, this guy. Flaming hands. Oh, you know what? I know what needs to happen right now. Naomi knows what needs to happen right now. This could all be over really quick. Here. Serene's going to attempt to cast Flaming Hands again. That's 15. 142. Flaming Hands. And it manifests. Fire springs from her fingertips. She rolled a 15. Burns a single target. That's all she needs. The one right in front of her. For 1 point of damage. Oh boy, this is looking. It's not grim, but this could go on forever. That was. Yeah. Zombies that are in the room. There's 2 zombies coming in the doorway. They haven't reached their group yet. Lars isn't really helping. Lars decides he's going to run up and actually try to club the skeleton that is attacking Serene. Serene is the noble's daughter of his town, the lord's daughter of his town, and he knows he should be protecting her. If he wants to be the hero for the town that he thinks he is, or wants to be portrayed as, he's got to do something. So he goes up and he swings pitifully, missing. Completely missing. We're back at the top. And really, we've got it's Shanna. Shanna the thief is going to. She's going to. I guess she's going to shoot a skeleton. She's going to shoot another zombie that's come walking in, and she hits. That's good. And she takes it out. Shunk. Other one's dead. So there's only one zombie left in this room, but there's 4 skeletons left by my count. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4 skeletons. We're going to roll these 4 skeletons, and then Naomi's going to attempt to turn these guys and end this so they can get the heck out of here. So 1 skeleton's attacking Naomi. He misses wildly. Another attacks Miles and misses. Oh, 1 takes a fist and tries to claw Terrence, and he hits. 1d4. Terrence is low. Terrence takes it. And now the one that came up, okay, the one that was attacking Serene, Lars came up and tried to attack it with his club. It turns and swings at him with his sword. Ooh, but he is quick enough to dodge it. So good for you, Lars. And now it's Naomi. And Naomi's going to realizes that she should have did this a while back. Before this second round, she should have did this. She's going to attempt to turn everybody. And she gets +5 to do this. Oh! So she gets her caster level plus. She is 20, +5 is 25, is 27. Not only is she turning these guys, but she does a beam of holy smite out in front of her to the one that's... Okay, so she's struggling. She's struggling with this one. She swung. It caught. They're like... For somehow it got caught and it's like bone and it's hilt, and she just holds it still and grabs her holy symbol and calls out for Justitia. A bolt of light erupts from her holy symbol, exploding the skeleton in front of her, and then pretty much just 1d8 of them is going to be running away. So, I mean, 2. No. Oh, plus caster levels, 4. And they all take 1d4 points of damage. 2. Oh, shit. This is awesome. She says that, and all of them explode. All the skeletons explode. And I think that's enough for the zombie, too. Everything just dies. Erupts of light. Laws of light starts laughing. She's almost... I think she might be a little mad. That's what Naomi suddenly realizes, that the Warhammer might be a little off. But then again, you got to give her a break because she's been stuck somewhere for a couple hundred years, locked away in a statue. So they take a moment to listen to see if anybody else is coming back. What color is the fire? Oh. In this case, it was red. Yeah. Here's the cool thing, dude, about spellcasting in Dungeon Crawl Classics. If you roll a 1, not only do you lose the spell, but you can become corrupted, and you roll to see what kind of corruption could happen. And things that, like, to give you an example, if you get corrupted by flaming hands, things like your hands permanently blackened, or your bare touch causes paper to ignite 25% of the time, or body hair burned away permanently. The other wizard that is her regular group, in the last adventure, he had a misfire of magic missile, and from his fingertips to his elbow his skin is completely blue, and his eyes are completely white. Like, he has no pupils; they're just completely white now. But he's all geeked about it because he sees it as signs of power, and he really digs it. Yeah, so after a while, wizards can become really grotesque, which is cool. Clerics have a different mechanic. Clerics have a a disapproval range. If they fail a spell check or and lay on hands isn't a spell, which is cool. Everybody gets lay on hands as a cleric, so it doesn't count as your spell list. But then you have your spells, and if you fail your lay on hands or your spells, you mark off your disapproval range goes up 1 point from starts at 1 and goes up to 2 and 3 and 4, and then every time after that until you've rested, if you fail again and you roll within that range, you have to roll on a big ass chart to see what happens, what kind of how you have to atone for your going against your deity. You might have to drop and pray for an hour immediately, or you've got to give up half your worldly possessions or some shit in order to get your abilities back. That's kind of how it plays out for clerics. Warriors have a might die, which is when it starts as a 1d3, and you roll that with every die roll, and you can do something called a mighty deed, where you can call out, I'm gonna defend, I'm gonna put up a shield wall, or I'm gonna kick this guy down the stairs, or do something, and you roll. You always roll your might die with it, and you add it to your attack roll and to your damage roll. But if your might die rolls a 3 or more, you succeed in the mighty deed as well. Which I tried a couple times today, trying to have him hit one skeleton into another. But I digress. So it's a fun little system. It's not as complex and doesn't have as much shit as D&D. But what I like about it is all the fiction triggers that there are. Fiction hooks. There's so many fiction hooks, and there's a lot of cool tables that cause a lot of cool things to happen that it's just enough where I don't feel overloaded with stuff. But there's enough that I haven't even gotten to yet, it feels like. And then there's that funnel thing I told you about, which is pretty cool, where you start with 0 level characters and see who lives and goes on to the next. That's what I've done with this. The Wheel of Destiny first episode, where it was 16 characters going on an adventure. And out of those 16, Naomi was one of the ones that survived. She's still alive. Now she's only 2nd level, and this is the 16th episode. 4 or 5 adventures later. So they're discussing what they need to do next. Serene says they don't hear any more zombies or skeletons or anything. It's quiet, but they don't know for how long. They know they need to get out of here. There's whatever's causing the zombies, and the stuff to overrun the town, to attack the town, is centered right here in this crypt, and it was sealed. And what was sealed is no longer sealed. And they need to figure out where that missing piece was. There was an adventurer that had come into town and disappeared not too long ago. So it kind of lends itself to being like, maybe we need to track this guy down. Maybe he removed this. The coincidence is too good. He removed this rod or whatever that was part of the ruins that kept whatever evil at bay. So they decide they need to leave, and they need to leave quick. And that's where we're going to end the night, is them fleeing the evil temple with the intent of finding the missing piece to this seal, to seal him in here, or whatever it is. They'll have to figure that out too at some point. So that's the stuff for tonight. Next week we will rejoin her in here in Pommeville. And that's it. Thanks for joining me, Clinton, man. It's awesome. You have a nice night. You should check out if you check out any other videos, in the beginning of every one of my casts for Friday night, I do the Lich. He does the news of the dungeon. And that's always the funnest part for me. I don't do it every night. I pre-record those, and you'll see, because I'm in full makeup. It's pretty cool. Yo, I don't know what I just said there. That's the Lich. I'm Kevin from level 9 of the dungeon. You all have a good night. Feel the dungeon.